Should you use straps? Should you not use straps? You know what? Like I don't even care about being popular or being unpopular for that matter. I'm not trying to become unpopular, but the thing is here, we have all these science-based dweebs who post things like, should you use creatine? Here are 5 things you didn't know about creatine. And then they list 5 things that everybody knows about creatine. Like, that's who's popular these days. That's what you guys love to like and comment and share. Oh, 5 things you didn't know about creatine. It can increase your strength. You can gain weight. It doesn't cause hair loss. Yeah, it's the same shit everybody fucking says. Like, we need another post telling us about creatine. Or, like, you need to be sleeping at least 8 hours a day. Thanks. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, make this person popular. Thank you for saying the same thing over and over again. Should you use straps? Should you not use straps? I don't care if you use straps or not, but I do think you should at least be informed. So, looking through the research, being science-based, it's going to be common sense to you guys when I tell you this. This won't surprise you. Guess what? Using straps increases the likelihood that you're going to get injured. Why? Well, because it removes the neurological component of this thing, and now you can grip something that you otherwise wouldn't be able to grip, and you can lift it, so you can lift something heavier. This is like me telling you, hey, put 120% of your 1 rep max on the bar and try to squat it. So now you're able to lift more than your 1 rep max of a deadlift, because now you're using straps, okay? But what's interesting here, I know, you were freaking out for a second there. What's really interesting here, though, is looking across these different studies on using straps or not. What does seem to change things is if you use straps and a belt. So straps alone, you're more likely to suffer an injury, and you're more likely to suffer a severe injury. But as soon as they use straps and a belt, right, using a belt at the same time, this is important, not just straps alone, it brought that risk way down. That's interesting. That's something you might want to pay attention to. Now, personally, I don't think you should be using straps on anything that's 1 rep max type work. I don't think so. I really, my take on it is that there is a neurological component. I think that Pavel is right about this concept of muscle irradiation. Right, you grip the bar really tight. You squeeze the shit out of the bar. This helps your whole body get tight. And this makes you less likely to get injured. I think that makes a lot of sense. Think about it whenever you're bench pressing. When you squeeze the shit out of the bar, you're stronger. When you're squatting, even for that matter, if you squeeze the shit out of the bar, you're stronger. Doing rows, you squeeze the shit out of the bar, you're stronger. So when you deadlift, maybe you want to have that grip component there, so you're squeezing the hell out of the bar. And this, has a neurological effect where your whole body gets tense. You get this full body tension. It's just a better lift. But maybe your ego can't take it, so you got to get that extra 10 pounds by using straps. And that's fine. But if you're going to do that, then wear a goddamn belt. And that's pretty much what you can take away from the research, is that just using straps alone, now you're at a very significant increase of injury. If you use straps and a belt, you're better off than straps alone. And obviously, using a belt alone with no straps was better. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find anything on belts specifically to no belt. So, I don't know. For deadlift, right? There's stuff on squats, but I think that it has too much variance with hip morphology and stuff like that, like depending on how your hips are shaped, how you squat. I mean, some people have to push their knees very far forward. Some people can sit back. Some people have to squat wide. Some people squat narrow. Like, how do you compare these and then say that a belt is good or bad whenever people have such vastly different squat form? Not that people don't have vastly different deadlift form, but it doesn't vary quite as much as squats. Like, you can just watch a whole bunch of different squats of elite level lifters even. They all have a very different stance, different style. Some are low bar, some are high bar. There's all this stuff. Some push their knees way out, some their knees come in. There's just so much variance in a squat. Deadlift has a lot less variance in terms of well, I mean, I suppose we can get into the sumo people that push their feet all the way out to the sides, which at some point, it's kind of like wide grip bench press. Like, yes, you can move more weight and that's fine, but like, are you really building more muscle? Are you actually getting stronger, or are you just using more leverage, more technique, more mechanic, whatever you want to call it, to leverage more weight up? And it's like, well, think about it. If you were trying to get as strong as possible, would you bench press as wide as possible? Or would you do like close grip bench press? You put yourself in a mechanical disadvantage and then try to move the weight and get as strong as possible. We're saying, not, are you trying to get the biggest bench press? We're saying, are you trying to get strong? You might evaluate things differently if that was your goal. So anyways, straps or no straps, I think that using straps is dumb for anything maximal. So I don't think you should be using straps to be able to pull, more than your 1 rep max deadlift. So if your 1 rep max deadlift is 405, then you shouldn't use straps so you can pull 415 or something. Just stick with your 405. Now, where would straps be useful? I think straps are useful when you're doing like volume. So, say you can snatch 200 kilos, you're Dmitry Klokov, and then you're going to drop back and do doubles at, 150, 160 or something. Yeah, that's probably a good time for you to use straps, because as a coach once told me, and I would love to drop his name because I think it was so clever, but I am sure that he would not appreciate. He's very good about his social media. He doesn't swear on his social media, unless he may, but it's pretty rare. But he made a comment to me once, and he said, serious athletes don't fuck their hands up to the point where they can't train the next day. And I was like, oh, lesson learned. So I did something stupid that day where I kept attempting a 1 rep max snatch because I was determined to, put 1 kilo on. And I don't even know how many attempts I took at it, but basically my hands were just shredded by the time it was done. And it was stupid. I did train the next day anyways, though, because I don't care. I'm one of those people that when my hands are all torn up and bleeding, I was like, I'm going to lift anyways. You might not. But he made a very good point. You shouldn't fuck your hands up, because I'm sure that fucking my hands up probably did impact my training, even if I did train the next day. So you probably shouldn't do that. All that being said, using straps for things that are, you're doing rows, you're doing sets of 20 or something. Your grip gives out due to endurance, right? It's not that you can't grip this dumbbell. The dumbbell isn't so heavy that you can't pick it up. It's that you can't hold on to it for a set of 20. Well, that's probably a good time for you to use straps. But if you're using straps to set a new 1 rep max deadlift, I don't think that that's a wise decision. I think that the risk of you injuring yourself is probably not smart. And you should never use straps on a clean. I don't even know why this is happening anymore. You would think that enough people would have seen these videos of guys breaking their arms. By all means, use straps on clean bulls. Okay, it's way less than your deadlift, and you're just doing them for reps and volume. Why would you use them on a clean? If you miss, you break your wrists. I don't know. Doesn't seem like a good risk to reward ratio to me. I'll never understand that, but what do I know? I'm sure someone will let me know that I always use straps on cleans, and it's like, yeah, I bet you do. Good luck. I hope you don't get injured. I mean that genuinely. That isn't a sarcastic comment. I hope you never get injured. Like, I don't want to get injured myself. I hope you don't get injured either. But to me, I'm just saying, don't take the risk. So, anyways, there you guys have it. Should you use straps? Should you not use straps? Well, it depends, right? Like everything else, there's context in this. But you might want to be informed on the fact that doing straps only puts you at an increased risk of injury. So if you're going to use straps, probably want to use a belt when you're doing things like deadlifts and stuff like that. I really can't see people using straps on rows, like bent over rows or something like that. You probably don't need them. But if you do, I can't see a problem with using straps on something that's very submaximal. So that's the overall picture.